For recording purposes, this class is just part two to the beginner's chart class that I was doing. We may end up doing part three, just because I feel great. You see how hard it is for me to say that I'm sick? It's like a sin to me. But once I feel much more better, I'll probably be able to run through the classes a little quicker. So today we're gonna focus on I think what I didn't touch on because I wanted to put everything together, which I will like towards the end of the class. Um I think it was consolidation and then we was moving over into support and resistance. And once we get those, I'll basically be doing a whole class again, but like coinciding with all the reversal patterns and things of that nature, drawing trend lines and stuff like that. All right, cool. Before we get started, does anybody have any questions about anything? Take advantage. Trust me, when I'm like sick, I move real slow. And I've heard like, oh, Moody, I love when you're sick because you just be answering everything so perfectly. So if y'all do have any questions, feel free. And you know me, before I start the class, I have to ask everybody, how are y'all doing? So Bill, how you doing? Queasy, iPhone, 11 Bang Bang, everybody on here, Luther, Lily, Alfredo, Tracy, Solak, Solak, Solak. Man, let me just stop right there. I don't want to mess up y'all names, man. But yeah, how y'all doing today? I pray everybody's doing well. Awesome, awesome. Thanks, bro. Grateful to be here. Thanks for making it. Grateful to be here as well, bro. Thank you for making it as well, my brother. Appreciate you. 11 Bang Bang. Good, brother. Good. That's what's up, Wally. All right, so let's start off with consolidation. What is consolidation, right? Consolidation is when you see the candlesticks trading sideways, right? So anything that you see, and I'll just draw some consolidations that I see here. Let me delete everything on this chart real quick. So we got some, let me turn this off. So we got some consolidation right here, right? Off of a bear flag. We also had a little bit of consolidation right here as well off of the bull flag that was breaking out. Of course, we had another one right here, right? So yes, you can see the consolidation within certain patterns when they're forming. But you just want to keep in mind that consolidation. You don't want to be like, oh, okay, so every time we see a bull flag or a bear flag or something of that nature, you want to keep in mind that it's anything that's just trading sideways, right? So like right here off of this inverted head and shoulders, we had two forms of consolidation, right? Just like the head and shoulders had two forms of consolidation, but we know the patterns that form those bigger patterns, right? So we had some right here as well, right? So now that I was able to identify with some consolidation, um, when stock is consolidating, right, it is not that it tends, it always breaks out, right? Now, let me rephrase that. Now it depends on the security that you're trading, right? Because let's say if I was to go to, and I always just go like to American Airlines because it's a cheaper stock. And it's not that it's a cheaper stock, it's the fact that it moves slower than the rest, right? So what I mean by that, let me move this up here. Um, dang, I just took it off of that one. So like this consolidation period that it had from here to here, right? And it's still like a little under that. It's not that much of a move, right? It's 1483 to 1493. If that was spot or QQQ, that would have been like a $2-3 move or a $1.50 move, right? So you have to be able to understand that. It all depends on the it all depends on the security that you are trading and that you're watching, right? And not to say that that's not a good move, right? Because if you was to load up on your contracts and get a nice little 10-15% move out of that, you'll be quite fine with that move, right? So you had a form of consolidation right here as well, right? This is not consolidation. You can obviously see that the candlesticks are picking direction and it's just pushing up until it push right back down to its support, right? So anytime, like even this right here, how it was a falling wedge, right? This was still a form of consolidation, right? That was still a form of consolidation, meaning if this was SPY, I would have not called that a form of consolidation. Just look at the two green lines. That's 1578 to 1595. That's the reason I'm calling that consolidation, right? Because it's not really going anywhere. And that security moves slow, just like Bank of America. You have eBay. You have much more others that perform slow, just like this as well. Let's keep in mind that just because the stock performs slow does not mean that you won't make a lot of money or lose a lot of money, right? Um, the reason I say that is because the slower that the stock does move, the better that the Greeks are for them, right? The more volatile it is, the less likely the Greeks are going to be amazing for it. And that's what you got to keep in mind, right? Not saying that you won't make no good money with that. We always day trading SPY, right? So or scalping SPY in the morning, and we make decent money with SPY, right? Depending on how many contracts you're buying. And the same thing for like America Airlines, where even though it's a slow mover, you can still capitalize on that. And especially if you're just trying to capitalize on the learning side and, just pulling that trigger, I would say, use a small account builder that doesn't move that slow and don't look, right? That's another thing to keep in mind where it's like, here, let me just delete all this, move this bad boy over to about a 4 hour time frame so I'll be able to explain this. I'll just bring it all the way over here, right? So America Airlines, right? The way it likes to move, this is right now it's at 1483, right? So you see I have some alerts right here. 1526. Can America Airlines do that in one day? Yes, it can. Hold on, give me a second. I have to go turn off this T. Oh, everything I'm about to drink some tea. No, sir. All right. Oh, let me set the alarm. My bad. Give me 1 second. All right. So yes, right. It can. And another way to like back test stuff like that, right? I'm on a 4 hour time frame, so you're only gonna get like two candlesticks. You see this move right here? Boom! It failed to even like try to give that much of a move, right? So can American Airlines do that? Yes, it can, right? But you have to wait for the setup, right? So like what I mean by that, like you see this is 4 p.m. It left you with that type of setup where it's like, look, 4 a.m. Pre-market, you can see it completed that morning star, boom, market opens up and it pushed all the way up, right? And then came right back down. So you have to wait for the setup, right? And I'm not saying that the setup has to be on a 4 hour time frame, right? That setup was on a lot of different time frames. It's just on the 4 hours I was able to explain it because I'm seeing it right now. But you got to keep in mind, what's tomorrow? Today is Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, American Airlines can go back up here by the end of the week, but we have to like look at the chart and see like, okay, what's the possibility? Like looking at this right here, no, I'll look at this falling down more. But as we do some time frame analysis and go down the time frames, it'll give us an edge where it's like, oh no, this is actually reversing, right? Why? Because it's at a good buying zone where's the demand zone. But we have to check that out. Like, obviously just go to a larger time frame because it's gonna take us forever. But you just want to check that level out where it's like, is this a good buying opportunity for real, right? This is a breakout zone, right? Anytime the stock comes down this way, we always break these levels. You can see that like when we're up higher, meaning up higher, like and coming down, we always break those levels. Yeah, we bounce and we break out of that, but you got to be able to identify with your eyes what happens first. Anytime we come down to these levels, we break it. Then we start to break back up, and you can see that like after it breaks, you can see how it tries to go all the way back up, right? So just waiting for some more data to see like what would happen with American Airlines, right? But going back into consolidation, this will be consolidating as well. Anything that's trading sideways on your chart this way, that's not going up and down, that's ranging, right? Up and down is fluctuating or ranging, right? Anything that's going sideways is consolidating. Now, I can push over here to like NVIDIA and even this, right? This would not be a form. That's why I was saying it just depends on the security, right? Because you see how like this is trading sideways. This is a type of form of consolidation, but you can still trade this, even though it's consolidating. Look, let me dang, I really don't want to rechart NVIDIA. Let me just grab this green line. I'm gonna put this green line like right here, and we have this blue line, right? So from 437.11 to 446.38, it is consolidating, right? And right here is where it broke out. You can see where it's just, and it just dropped all the way down. And you can see how it pushed all the way back and where it broke out at. That's where it was like, okay, let's see what's gonna happen. Boom, broke out and kept going, right? So I'm explaining this so you can understand that consolidating can be over a period of, a $10 move, $9 move. That doesn't mean that you can't trade it, right? Most people don't like to trade consolidation. Um, and I believe it's just because the individual may not have the edge to know like, yo, is this gonna break up or is it gonna break down, right? You just got to know if it's a rising wedge, falling wedge, which both of those for me will be PMGs, right? As you see, like this falling wedge came all the way down into my zone, I'll buy back up, and I also have the fib in there. Um, so consolidation doesn't have to be from like a $1 move or a 50-cent move, right? It can consolidate from a $10 move, a $15 move, and just be ranging. And you thinking that it's just ranging, right? Because it's a volatile stock, but it's truly just consolidating, trying to get out of that range, right? So you got to be able to identify with that. Before I move any further, does everybody understand what like consolidation is? Like even right here, where that blue line is at, I'm gonna bring this green line. This was a form of consolidation. And you can see that this was a move from 446 to 457. So that was a $10 move as well from there. Just like this, it's trading sideways, it's consolidating. It's consolidating, but NVIDIA is extremely expensive right now, but it pays really well. Like depending on and I'm not talking like weekly contracts, you go like 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out. Like even if you're at the money or over the money, it's because I've been trading it. I'm saying 25% with them is like 800 to $1,000. And it's just due to their Greeks right now and how expensive they are. Will RSI give you a hint of where it is going after consolidation? Yeah, absolutely. Every single time. Every single time. It's just like when we was talking about this falling wedge. It was consolidating right here, right? When it broke right here and it fell, that was a 50% retracement. You see that rejection? Wow. Came back down. So my setups are always gonna be, it's always gonna present itself. And that's why like I don't get a lot of FOMO trading. Like I get myself FOMO for like looking at the chart. I'm like, man, whatever. Let me just jump in. Oh, I want to grab that too. Like just being excited. But I can fight FOMO pretty well. And it's just because I know that my setup is gonna present itself. Give me 1 second.
I mean, that's all not constant. It shows a lot in work. So how we have to do. Oh, yeah, I think you're right. If I win, it'll be worth it. If I don't win, I'm probably gonna be mad, not frustrated.
Hey,
Then just
hey,
like,
somebody on speaker. I don't know what y'all talking about though. I think I heard Zell. Y'all could Zell me though. Y'all need that. You need that number? Oh man. We was about to have a Zell party. We was gonna Zell each other. So let me drop this thing. Wait, give me a second. We. Yeah, I'll be having the weirdest thoughts in my head. I'm like, which one of y'all want to go to the sunken place? Get out. When she did, give me a little more. Give me a second. Honey trying to go to the sunken place. No, I'm talking about honey. There we go. But yeah, before we move any further, does everybody understand what consolidation is? And also I'll just remind you, consolidation also is like a breakout strategy. So if you like consolidation, you like to see a stock like consolidating, it's basically just waiting for it to just do, and then when it hits your level, you get in. But overstand this now. I like to take like even if this was consolidating, say I would have seen this potential morning star, I would have took it, I would have took it, then I would have been in. I would have just never got out my trade unless it would have just took me out, right? Or even right here, I know I would have been patient enough. I would have took that tweezer bottom and would have fell, or I would have took these. Those would have been my three trades. Kind of one, two, three, four trades that I would have possibly took, right? Just because I know how to trade the price action. But understand if you're trading the consolidation, you always take the high of where it's breaking out. And once it breaks out, you just got to be patient. That's the only thing about consolidation, breakout consolidations is where, and sometimes they go, right? Whereas like when it breaks that level, right, it'll probably just test it for a little while, then finally go. Like right here, you would have had some good profits, right? Well, you would have had good profits right there, but you would have had some great profits and you got to be able to take those. Like, you know, that when it's consolidating, all it's playing is support and resistance. That's all it's doing. And to get you to understand that, I would have to go to a bigger time frame. No, because y'all know how I trade. So basically, it's just these one, two, those two bars right there. You connect them, both of them. Obviously, go into a 2 hour time frame or something. I'll just take it there so you can be able to see it. Connect both of those bars. Where was I? Feel like it was right here. Yep. Connect both of these bars. You see how you only have one now? From here, from basically the top of that candlestick to the bottom of the other candlestick, not their one, the other one that connected that one, right? Is ranging from there. So, you know, it's playing a support and resistance, even though it's consolidating from there. And the reason you can play it and add all that terminology to this in NVIDIA is because it's volatile. So even though it's consolidating at a nice range where it's still damn near a $10 move, over a $10 move. Apologize. Right. All right. So let me go to the chat real quick. Let's get you off on our side of Divergent there. I think he was talking about when it was going down for that falling wedge. Yeah. It was a bearish divergent Candlesticks pushing up. Here, I'll show it to you. So just in case
Right,
we.
right there where you're at right now on August 3rd on the hour, right there, like to the left more, August 3rd. Yeah, in there when you were saying you were get down there in that consolidation there, I see it like kind of,
Yeah,
trending, yeah, trending down, but the RSI is trending up.
yeah, it's doing it on a smaller time frame. That's a bullish diversion. Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, I
That's
would have got in there too, learning from
that's a
Moody.
good eye. That's a good eye, Bill. Not everybody would have saw that like that early because it's a 2 hour time frame. That's dope, bro. Um, yeah, let me go back into the chat real quick. Check Mara on daily before it made the big move to 20. Perfect consolidation before a big move. Yeah, let's check it out. Mara, Mara. Oh yeah, Bitcoin broke it. No, Bitcoin fell off. Oh, they all got liquidated. Yeah, I already see what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, you got a good eye though. You really do have a good eye to know that that was consolidating because somebody would have been like, it's ranging. Nah, that was straight consolidation right here. Straight consolidation. Like this is an uptrend. Yeah, you got a good eye, bro. Like, look, check it out. Yeah, you got a really good eye. Like all this was consolidation. All of that was consolidation. You could see it. You see how I was just trading sideways. Yeah, you got a nice little range from I say like $10 to $8. That's a beautiful range, but it's still consolidating. You just gotta know how to once you find consolidation, I'm not even gonna call it support and resistance, it's supply and demand. That's what it is. Look, I'm gonna just put it right down to the bottom. And I don't like doing stuff like that. I like to bring it like I know I'm catching, oh, it's doing that because it is. There it is. But catching bodies, right? Um, Here's where I can see I got bodies. So this is supply and demand. Look at it just like that. Don't even matter if this was happening on a 1 hour or 30 minute and it was like that much of a range. Supply and demand, support and resistance. We're actually going to be going into support and resistance, right? It's opening up your candles. You can see that this is a demand zone, this is a supply zone. That's why I called it that, right? And automatically you have support right here, right? Let's change these to different color Moody so they can be able to identify with that. Make them orange, right? I'm just going for the bottom of the candlesticks. That's all I'm going for, right? I got a lot of wicks here touching that, but that's fine with me. It's okay because I know I'm grabbing this body right here, right? So from here to here, you see how I literally grab it from this one move from here to the body of that candlestick. That's your support and resistance, my man. You come over here, you see that. Ooh, coming down. Ooh, I'm trying to touch it. Oh, shit is so easy, right? So from here, the next move is here. Each candlestick gives you the next move, especially if they're big. You know what I'm saying? Because if they're small, like from here to here, you know what I'm saying? Like you would have had too much to like we don't care about that little consolidation. You know what I'm saying? That you see that it's just going to show you certain things that you missed. Where it's like we don't care about that. That's why trading is very personal. And like it's what you're trying to see, what you're trying to do, what Moody's trying to do with the stock and gain from it and capitalize from it is not the same that Bill may be wanting to do or Tracy may be wanting to do, right? So yeah, what was I like right here? And then the next level is gonna be right here. Body of this green candle. And you can see like all the bodies are kind of flush right there. We're just gonna place that right there. We're gonna come to the left, you're gonna see that breakout. And once it breaks out here, you can see it always comes right back down, right? So that's supply demand inside of support and resistance. Does that make sense? Drop a Y in the chat if it does. If it doesn't, drop an N in the chat. And we'll try to get to it. Why? Awesome. Bad. Beautiful. And here, since y'all understand that, let's just say I saw the chart coming right here, right? As soon as it hits your demand zone, you can buy. You can always add to these positions, right? But just always remember, once you aggregate up and hit your supply one time, or one time or even like this is going to come back down to a demand. You see, like this time it didn't come all the way back down to the demand. They had demand here now, right? And you can see that this is the only one that came right back down to that demand. Yup. And you can also see this is that when they created that demand zone, that's when they broke out. You see it was resistance, created some support up there, created some support, finally broke out, boom. So they came back to test that. That's why we only had that one couple of tests, because that one test right here, that was the main test. Because that's anywhere you break out of, like, here, I'll give you a gym, bro. Because I know people be watching this shit anyways. Excuse me. NVDA. Or just give me a stock that just broke out. It's so easy to know what's about to happen with them. Put this up here. Obviously, this one already happened though. Anytime something breaks out, just like how you have this bull flag, look, I'm gonna just start it from right here instead of all of this. Anytime you see these big green candles, just stop being scared. It's gonna retrace 50% retracement. It's gonna retrace it. It has to. And if it doesn't do it on this one, it's gonna do it on the next one, right? You see how that retrace? Basically 50% of this candlestick, big candlestick, basically 50% retracement. Boom. It's gonna do that every single time. Anytime it breaks out, like this was a breakout. Some people tend to like, you know what, I'm about to keep running with it. You can. That's like what I do. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people be like, all right, I'm gonna catch the short and retrace this candle down to 50% retracement, right? We can go to Meta. You see that? You see how it retraced 50% retracement of it, right? But look at this. Gap up. It opens at 50% retracement of it and then pushes back up. So don't ever feel like you've lost something, like you not lost, but missed something. You know what I'm saying? Look, just in case Luther's in here, Cat, like you've been watching Cat. You've seen all that money we made off of Cat, and look at how it's retracing it back, right? And all you have to remember is like, do we always fill up gap? No, we don't always. Like when it wants to run, it's gonna run, right? And you're gonna think it's gonna fill those gaps, right? So even right here, are we gonna fill this gap? Possibly. Why? Because the price is way too close to it, right? I like that we're at 50% retracement. Let me go ahead and do this chart. How I do this chart. It's consolidating and it still has room to fall. You gotta understand this went from a high, right? And still hasn't went overbought yet. And ooh, this is where we normally bounce from though. You know what I'm saying? But I'll be looking for that opportunity. This opportunity is just beautiful, man. If you get it down here, it's just gonna be beautiful. All right. I'm just looking at this real quick because I know Luther likes this stock. I do as well. But it retraced the whole entire candlestick already, right? Let me go to the 12-hour real quick. You still got room to retrace everything. Cat can go down another $5, right? And that's another $5 to just go to support, right? For its target now, it can go down a little bit more, down to 262, 262.01, right? So that's going to be its target. And the thing is, this target is right next to a support, literally right by a support. So it doesn't have to go and try to take out all that liquidity, because it's already taken out plenty of liquidity, and this is going to be a big liquidity candle, right? Yep. Let me I just want to see if she's reversing for real yet. She's still consolidating, but she is on a bullish divergent, as you see, right? Our sides just continue to give higher highs and it's trying to break out, and your candlesticks are going down. I say just wait for damn, there's no gap there. I thought there was a gap there. And that's why I don't like daily charts. I like 2-day charts, 3-day charts, because what you see on the daily charts is objective. That is, you know, it doesn't have extended hours on it. So you're not gonna know if there was truly a gap there or not, but we can see right here at 8 a.m. there was never no gap up. there was no gap, right? We pushed up, we hit a resistance, came back down, closed here, opened up with support and resistance, came back and tested the range, shot right back up on a nice hammer, came right back on a bullish recovery hammer, right? Went down 50% retracement, boom, and broke out right when the market opened up. Right. And then even when the market opened up, because the market opens up at 9:30, this shot before 9:30, right? For pre-market, just boom, 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 and then market open. Right. So there's no gap there. And that's why let's see how it's bouncing off of supposedly where the gap is at. That's why doop, bounce, bounce. You see that actionable signal? That's all it is. So maybe able to take out some more liquidity, like because I could see to take out this liquidity because this is our breakout liquidity, right? That's our breakout zone. So I could see us go ahead and take out that liquidity real quick, boom, and shoot the price right back up. Yeah, definitely. All right, so now let's get into some
Yeah, that's my target right there, 265.
Oh yeah, what for puts?
Yeah, I got. I don't know if I'm gonna get it this week, but it's holding, but it's trading now. It closed below last week low, so it closed below last week low. So I'm definitely think I'm gonna get 265, man.
Whenever you see your 15 or your 30-minute holding a 50 mark on your RSI, you'd be good to go.
I'm just seeing if people gonna hit 265, and that's why I'm gonna take profit because that was, like you say, the breakout area. That area there, and if it don't hold 265, it's going to 260. But I think 265 is going to be the retracement back up, like you say. You might wick out, like how you say, you might wick out, give you that actionable signal, wick out at 265, and then shoot back up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I think too. All right, so let's get into some support and resistance. I'm gonna bring support and resistance like how I used to, like when I first learned about support and resistance and how I would utilize it, and then over time I just got better and better and better. So support and resistance to me, it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But once you realize that support and resistance is the bodies of the candlesticks, you notice that there's going to be a lot of support and resistance. So I normally tend to just work with one, right? Whereas like when I first started trading, I would just come to the daily chart and I would literally take this one candlestick. That's my support and resistance, right? But I never knew that I was doing multiple time frame analysis. But like when I go back and I'd be like, dang, this is what I was doing back then. I was doing multiple time frame analysis where I would literally draw it up on the daily, come down to a small time frame, and check out, literally just check how it's looking. Like, oh, okay, cool, it's a nice support and resistance, right? Until I would go all the way down to like about an hour. Overstanding that is going to give him about seven candlesticks, right? So we know that we got that range from the daily, right? We got a high and we also have a low. Why the heck don't I see my candlestick all the way down here? Oh. That's throwing me off. That's throwing me off. Let me see something. 38, 51, 38, 51, 38, 51, 38, 51, 39 is right here, 38, 51. That's weird. My bad. I'm in my own head right now. I'm trying to realize why my price 436.29. Oh, it bounced, Moody. Tripping. No, but I still should have came all the way down here. That's weird. That's really weird. Oh, that's what it is. Never mind. Don't mind me. All right. So, and is the replay shit on here? Delete. That's also not. It just fixed now. There we go. That's why I should really be looking. And extended hours on there. All right, let me go back to my daily. Yeah, I knew something was wrong with the chart. It just didn't seem right. See, and it just moved this. Something's, man, what the hell? I'm glad this is being recorded and y'all can see this, so y'all be like, yeah, Moody, you're not tripping. I saw everything just now. All right, let me go back to okay, this is how it's supposed to look. You know, when your chart is supposed to be at the bottom of those candlesticks. I don't know what the heck was going on just now. You feel me? Maybe it's the government. That was a joke.
And you
All
left
right.
the government.
Huh?
Saying you left the government, right?
Who, me? Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Why would I not let the government? You know what I'm saying? They lied to me. They told me I was dead, but I was alive. All right, let me shut up. All right. I love the government though. Trust me. I love the country that I live in. I wouldn't move to no other country. So I guess I do love my government. Let me go in here real quick before I turn y'all up. It's the market makers messing with you because you taking too much profit from their bag. They can't see what's going on my on my trading view. Nah, I feel you, right? But that was a joke. For real, that was a joke. It's like when you hear people like going through something and they be like, oh man, it was the cops. Oh, it was the government. Like, bruh, no, it was you. All right, so I'm gonna just start this over and I'm gonna just do it off of an hour and I guess I'll make this shit juicy and spicy. Make it juicy and spicy. Y'all want me to make this juicy and spicy?
Yep.
All right. You know what? I'm about to get y'all to start engaging. Okay, so I got 2 years. All right, so I'm gonna make it hard. I need 7 years that y'all want me to make it juicy and spicy, and we gonna make it juicy and spicy. Ooh, somebody said super spicy. Ooh, I like that. She wanted. Oh man, Shaw, what picante. You know, it took me some time to register it. Yes, please. Yes. All right, cool. So y'all not sleeping. All right, cool. Y'all not tucked away with y'all loved ones talking about, yo, rub my toes. Moody on, man, I don't gotta pay attention, man. Yeah, get your ass back on them cups. We grown, man. I always wanted to be like, when I was young, like, man, I can't wait to have conversations like this with grown folks. Man, like, I can't breathe. Shut your ass up. All right, let's get to it. We're gonna get juicy and spicy. All right, so the juicy and spicy is we're gonna act like we trading. All right, so look, check this out. We're gonna bow. We're gonna put that guy like right there, like that, like so. All right, what time is this? All right, so it's 11 o'clock. So it's like 12 o'clock. Bow. So like when Jordan about to come live trade with y'all, right? All right, we're about to hit him with the ookie dokie. Nah, Pookie, you can't do that. All right, so how should I do it? What should I do? All right, so look. This is your support. Ooh, I'm a liar. That's your resistance. This is your support. Bottom is always your support. The top is always your resistance. It doesn't matter the color of the candlestick. To me, yes, it does sometimes because I'm always going to say the bottom is support, right? Because I'm a bullish person, right? But the bottom is always support. The top is always resistance. It doesn't matter the color of the candlesticks. What matters is if it was red and it started like, it doesn't matter if it's red, but if it opens up right here and it starts to push up and it's green, right? Wherever that opening price was, that's going to be your support. So if it pushes up, now you have support over it. If it breaks back under it, you lost your support. It's looking for another one. Now you have resistance. You just gotta understand that. Once you understand that, wow, that's it. You get all that money, but you gotta be patient. Be patient. Rome wasn't built in one day, nor in a month. I would say a year, but I don't know when Rome was built. I don't know how long it took. I just know the saying. All right, cool. So that's your support and resistance, right? So you can take trades on your next candlestick. I really want to drop this bad boy over, but we're gonna put it back over to like an hour, and then we'll probably just do it over. What do y'all want? Yeah, because y'all want me to do it nice and juicy and spicy. You feel me? So We're gonna do this one over, but we're gonna first do it on an hour so you could just overstand your support and resistance. But I'm gonna do it on a smaller time frame because I know that don't I ain't here to offend nobody. Don't feel offended by this, but y'all some crackheads just like me. I'm a crackhead. Like, look, it's 9:58, really 9:59, and we talking about charts here. We're crackheads. Understand that. Laughing out loud. Okay, see, y'all laughing. Y'all know. Okay, y'all crackheads. All right, cool. At least we know we crackheads. So long story short, let's press play here. Right? Oh, before it happens, you can take calls right here. Obviously, Moody knows that I'm not that person to do that to y'all. Obviously, we know that because we know this is about to make a tweet about him, right? So that's why I know that for a fact. But even if it was live, I would do it too, right? So long story short, you can take calls right here, right, and take it up. This is for the aggressive trader, right? Now, if you know what I'm saying, if you the other side, you feel me? Not saying that you weak, you feel me? Because that's a sin. We don't say stuff like that. Not saying that you weak, but you like a little bit of, a little foreplay. You feel me? You like a little, you know what I'm saying? Ease me into the trade. You feel me? You don't want to just jump in and shit like that. You're a little scared of DC diving and shit. You feel me? So you may be the person what we're gonna call conservative, right? You're a conservative trader, so you're gonna enter in right here. But overstand, if you're a conservative trader, you have to hit your target now. You don't have to. You take your profits whenever you want to. Don't listen to Moody. I'm a liar. You take your profits whenever, even if it's $5, $10, $20. Overstand, you ain't have $5, $10, $20 when you first started the trade, right? You got a little extra. Take that bag, right? Until you get comfortable with, you know what? I'm staying in this trade. Ooh, I'm up. Just talking dollar amounts. Let's say I'm a 50. I ain't even touching it. Yes. So it's coming back down. I already understand that I just hit 50. It's been consolidating. You know what I'm saying? So it has to travel back down a little bit. So I know, okay, cool. How much time I got left? All right. So you should be able to push up a little bit more from the 50. We didn't came back down to about a little 35, 27. You feel me? Got you a little scared. Got your heart bumping like, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, why? I wish it's at 50. I should have took profits. You're here talking to you just wilding right there. You're like, man, I could have taken profit, man. Golly, man. But then you're not even taking profit right now. Well, it's right there, so you gotta understand it. Like, man, why I ain't taking profit right now? You gotta talk to yourself and like understand, like, what you be doing, bro? You, me, and I, all three of y'all motherfuckers be doing different shit. Y'all don't never want to listen to me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all probably laughing at me. Oh, mommy, I'm sick. Probably laughing at me, right? So you gotta understand that. You gotta understand that you are your own enemy. I might have to hit y'all with some motherfucking juice today, right? So you have to understand that you're your own enemy, right? So calls right here and calls right there, right? Now we know that this is our target, right? Moody already know the 50% retracement. We already, take that off. Stop playing with me. Right, so we're gonna take profits also right here. But you know what's another thing? Look, from right here, that is 436.77. Let's just draw a line. We're gonna delete it, right? Right here, 437.55. 437.55. That's damn near. If that was zero DTE, you got almost 100%. If you wasn't zero DTE, you know what I'm saying? You're still doing fine. Still doing 50%, 70. You feel me? Why? Because that's your daily opening price. It's gonna go test that, right? Moody. Delete that, put it right here. Just put it right there, Moody. Just put it right there so they can see. All right. And remember, we're going to do this a couple of times so you can be able to see it. All right. Now we're going to press play, and we got this little sucker going slow. All right. Here we go. Watch my green candle. We're going to buy. We might get a little wick down. Oh, dang. You ain't going to be able to see the whole candle, actually. You're just going to see it happen and then go green. Dang. That's why we're going to go with a small time frame. You saw that? Right? Saw that? So since you can see that, what we're going to do for you, we're going to come down here to the 1 minute. What time is this? 11 on flat. We're gonna come down. We ain't gonna do you on the 1 minute. We're gonna do you on 3. We'll come down to the 3 minute, right? Remember, we're saying we buy right here and we buy right here. And remember when I was speaking on consolidation, even if you buy the breakout, because remember, anytime you're buying the previous candle stick to go up, even if you're trading a strat, you're fucking trading breakouts. Breaking out from it's just some breakouts bigger. But you're always trading breakout. All right, so now that we know that, right, we're gonna come back down here to 11 o'clock, flat. Where were we? 11 a.m. That's some boo-boo. If it was 11 a.m., 11 to 12, it was 12 a.m. So let's go down here, 12, 12, 12, right here. Let me get this bad boy. All right, so I should do it like right here. All right. I'll take you back over to the hour so you don't think I'm cheating you, right? So you back to the hour, you're gonna see, look, wow, you see that candle not there no more, right? That green one that it ran up, it's not there no more, right? We took it out. So now, so you can be able to see that whole move, I'm gonna take you over to 3-minute chart. If y'all wanted to be on a 1-minute chart, just drop a Y right now. Because I want to be on a 1-minute chart, but I feel like y'all should probably be on 3-minute because I move a little fast, y'all. So just let me know. Looking like we like 3. All right, cool. Oh dang, somebody done type some shit. Let's see. Fine. 3, right? 3 is fine. All right, so look. Yes, we know we get in the tweets bottom right here. Overstand. When you're coming down to the smaller time frame, look at let me just teach y'all for real. So this is the setup, right? This is what you're trading. You already know you're on the bottom of a downtrend, right? You're on an hour. Yeah, the downtrend go down a little further, but you also see if you go to the back, this is where we kind of like consolidated and then it broke out. So you know anything that doesn't hold over this price, you look for some shorts, right? But we're looking for anything for demand, right? Why? Because even though it broke out here, you see how it broke out and it stood right there, gave you the inverted head and shoulders, boom, broke out. So we know that there's a demand zone somewhere here, right? So if you go all the way to the left, oh, Jesus Christ. There it is. Go all the way to the left. You see that demand zone? Do you see anytime, boom, we break out, right? Understand how I teach you on the chart. I didn't go straight to the demand zone, right? We break out first, right? We test demand zone. Break out, test, demand zone. Boom, go, come back, demand zone. You see, boom, 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 demand zone, bow. Oh, snap, come back. Under it, demand zone, boom. That's why I got a nice little move. Oh, that's what I'm saying. You can be biased in the game, right? It's just a lot, man. Yo, my mind is so funny. Yo, I'll be wanting to tell y'all something, but I'll be like, man, I don't know. I don't want to offend y'all. I'm a joking kind of person. It's like, look, I don't care, man. Forget it. I'm being me. It's like, yo, what if you like men and you like women? Bro, you're gonna be confused, puts and calls and puts, men and women. It's like, bro, you gotta choose one way, brother. You gotta choose one way. Don't feed yourself now. All right. Yo, my son is gonna love me. Anywho, right? So demand zone, right? So now when we come back to it, right, you can see how it turned into a little supply, right? Boom, but not as much, right? Because they're still respecting it as demand, right? It's just flagging, consolidating a little bit, a little ranging, right? We know there's a little bit of ranging here because we've seen just heck of wicks, like wicking down, wicking up, and just staying in that range. So we know it's ranging right now, right? It's volatile right there, right? So we know that this area, right, on SPY is very volatile from 435 to 436. That is a volatile area, right? Even if you come back to that breakout, that is a volatile area, right? So now, damn, I forgot what I was trying to explain. Oh yeah, I was gonna do your little thing. All right, so we seen all of that. Let me bring it all the way back here, like that, like so, right? So now you're seeing that we're on the bottom of a downtrend, right? Because you see how it popped up there. We're still at the bottom of a downtrend, right? You also seeing that the RSI was oversold, and it's coming over, right? When you see something like this, it's just like a test, right? To see if we're gonna hold over that, right? But you got to test that out on a smaller time frame, right? You want to make sure, like, yo, my 1 minute is already bounced up, you know what I'm saying? My other ones already started reversing, where it's like, I get it, it's just pulling back still, right? I need another green candle. Watch. I'm gonna just do it real quick, and I'll redo it just so you can be able to see it. I just need another green candle to push me back up. That's all it needs, right? Because it's on a pullback, and it doesn't mean that it's going to keep dropping. Jesus Christ, where that candle at? There it is. You see that? That's that test. Bow. Trying to tell you, man, I already did this for you. I spent a year on these charts for you already. I tested this out. I know how it works. So go ahead and delete that one. Let's take you back down to the 3-minute. And let's let you see how it works. Remember, you can buy calls right here. Anything above holding at 435.61, and you see it's at 435.63 actually, right? You can buy calls here, and we can also buy calls right here. We know that this is a quick minimum target, right? Because that's our daily opening price. And then we also know the people that chose to go right here, if you wasn't satisfied with all that profits, right, you could have went for that one as well, right? But that's going to be your market structure. And honestly, I took this one over for the hour, so we're going to have to bring this bad boy down a little bit. You feel me? Because that hour don't work right here on a 3-minute. You feel me? Because that's an hour. This is a 3-minute, different structure, right? So we're going to drop the structure there, and you can see that this is where it broke out at, right? I just don't have the line going extremely far. But yeah, see, you feel me? Right. So now that we know that, here we go. Let's let it play out and let us do a sexy thing. There it is. Falling wedge, morning star. Anything that holds above this, you want to start to grab. And understand, whenever you start, oh dang, he's gonna do it. Y'all know I say this all the time on these small, and it's not only the 5-minute time frame. When you're reversing, I don't know how I forgot to tell you this. When you're reversing, right, or reversing from the top to bottom, well, I'll say that one for last. Reversing from bottom to top, so getting bullish from bearish to bullish, your candlesticks 9 times out of 10 are always going to go red to green, red to green, red to green, red to green, and just watch it. But for the 5 minutes, it's a psychological thing. I'm going to make it go faster. Oh, that one went straight green. We're going straight green. Push up, push up. This is called a rounding bottom. Pause it right here, Moody, is important. This is called a rounding bottom right here. Rounding bottom on a smaller time frame. Here, I'm gonna go. Y'all wanted me to go all extra juicy and sexy. It's an inverted head and shoulders. That's all it is, right? Right here. Invert head and shoulders, right? Breaking out. This is why it stopped right there. Literally. This smaller time frame is gonna show you that, right? The other one is not. It probably show you some wicks. Told you, right? And it's because it's objective. These wicks were actually candles for the smaller time frame, just not the 3-minute, right? But it stopped right there because of this candlestick. That's your new range. You know, when I'm over here like, yo, Bill, you love this when I go range to range like this. Oh, and I got a new thing too. I'm gonna start doing my strat shit. I said, excuse me, my fit down to bottom is something that my mind's registering. I want my 100 at the bottom, so I know that by the time I get close to the 0, that's it. Get out your move. Or I might just do it where it's like at the 100, hey, you're almost at your 100, get out your move, right? Because you got to go for the next range, which will be from here to here. So let's delete that. Let's delete this. Take you back to the 1 minute so you can understand that this candle is why I rejected, right? So when we come back, you see that big old candle right there? That's why I rejected, because that's his new support and resistance. That's his new support and resistance, just like this one is support and resistance. Check it out. You see it? You see how it stops? Yes, it's the 50% retracement, but overstand support, resistance, right? So that's why it stopped right there, because that's a whole new structure. That's where it broke out to. That's a whole new structure for it to get to, but it's going to do it, right? You just have to be patient, and you got to understand, once we come down from a support and push it all the way up to the structure, meaning completing this whole candlestick right here, we was outside. I could do it with, I just don't want to confuse y'all and delete all my lines either. So right here, no, bro. We want you to be a different color though. Make you white. So you can see that range. From right here to right here. You see your candlesticks? It enters the range. Just like when I'm using the fib, I'll be like the white line, it enters the range and completes the range, right? That wig took out target. This one pushed out, letting us know, yo, we trying to push out. You see how it's trying to mirror this? The spinning top is trying to push it out, right? So this is what stopped us. That and that. That's what stopped us. Those are, this is support and this is a resistance, right? Just support to this candlestick, and this is a resistance, but it's very close, and you got to be able to break that. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all understand what I'm saying. If y'all don't, just drop a note in the chat, like Moody explain that. So now I'm gonna just delete the white ones and I'm gonna let you see how it's going to break this and enter this zone now. What a beautiful candle. You saw that? And that's how it fakes people out. You will always think it's just support, right? If we hit, remember these lines, when you draw them, even if you draw them on your chart, remember the bottom one that you just drew is always going to be a support and that's always going to be a resistance. So just know if you bought up here, you bought at the high. It doesn't matter as a 3-minute chart and it can keep going, overstand. You don't know that this is going to happen. You don't know that. I don't know that. We just confident. And we've done it so many times that it's like, nah, this is what happens. So we're extremely confident, but we don't know that that's going to happen. Anything freaking happen, right? I'm just honest. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm a dope ass trader, but it doesn't mean it's like strat traders, bruh. They get to me all the time. Like Rob used to get to me all the time, and even Sarah Sniper. But it's fun, you know what I'm saying? To be like, 2-2 reversal on a daily. This happened. Did you know? We did. No, the fuck you didn't. No, the fuck you didn't. No, you didn't. If you was trading and you was like focused on that, yeah, you saw it. Yo, nah, we're reversing. We're going down to the downside. But like every single time, nah, bro. Like, come on now. If y'all think I'm hitting everything every single time, y'all crazy. Seriously. No, I mean, I miss. I do miss. I just don't miss that much, but I do miss. Right. So long story short, it just came back to a support, right? And then broke his resistance. You can see the morning star right there, and then went straight to what? Completed structure. Now, Moody, let him see how it's going to react here. Watch this. It can go ahead. It can go ahead and take out this target, which that's not the target, Moody. There it is. It can take out this target. And if it takes out this target and holds over just a tad bit, overstand that is inside of this candlestick. You see the blue line? And it's over support or resistance. So its next one is to hit that. Right? And that's, I'm about to read the chart for you so you can understand this. So I could tell you where the price is going to go. I'm literally looking at my RSI and looking at the candlestick. And when I'm looking at the candlestick, I'm only looking at these last two. Now I'm looking at these last three. We racked up, bull flag breakout, inverted head and shoulders. Bull flag breakout, boom. Yes, we should be able to go take out that target. Now I'm about to do something that I'm not going to advise y'all to do. 30. All right, we're overbought. We're not overbought though. I promise you, we're not overbought. We're overbought. We overbought. My favorite one is the 1 second. There we go. That's the pullback. Bearish divergent. We're like right here on the 1 second. Okay. 1 second. Getting ready to bounce. Let's go. You saw how easy that shit was? That's all I'm doing. Right? Let's go back to the 1 minute. Right? I know that it still has some more room to go. We'll put it back on the 3 minutes so you don't get confused, because the 1 minute may give us a couple of red candles before pushing straight out. We see that we still have room. It's just breaking the 50% retracement. Go ahead and let it play out. Right? Oh, sorry, I didn't tell you. So thank God I already did it. So I already mentioned that it can go ahead and take out this target. The only place that this can go down to is this 15 opening price, right? So I'm gonna just draw me a line right here and let it be white, and then I know that we can come and test this wick right here. Oh, you son of a gun. Let's go ahead and bring you back down here, just so you can see how I trade. And if anything, I put it at the support, but it's gonna come test that wick if it wants to come down, right? So press play. Completion of structure. That's completion right here. You see that? We just completed it. Now understand, do you know why you're pushing down right here? Somebody say yes if you know why it's pushing down. Drop a no in the chat if you don't know why it's pushing down right now. And I'll tell you why. I'll show you and tell you why. Retest, no. Bill, I fucking love you, bro. You a cheater like me. It is a damn retest. He's like, retest. I ain't about to say no. Retest. Bill Smart.
Sorry, man. I hit it too early, man, before you said what to do.
It's exactly what it's doing. So it's pulling back. Why? Because our 1 minute was overbought. Remember, I showed you that already, right? But they still have room to push. Remember, like right here, and it pushed all the way through that. So that's why you're pulling back. It's because the 1 minute is overbought. So the 1 minute has to come bounce from here. So now I'm gonna bring you back to the 30 minute. I mean, to the 3 minute. Make sense? Watch this. Just bring her right back here, right? And let's bring her back on a 1 minute, right? Now we see we're overbought, right? So you got to pull back. I just don't want to show you that on a 1 minute. Well, you just saw it on a 3 minute. So watch this. I'll do it on a 1 minute and then take it to the 3 minutes so you can see. That's the pullback. You see that? They can always use that as support. See how it pushes back up? Watch that. Boom. It can always use it as support until it breaks it. But it will break. Just understand that. It will break. And when this breaks, you get big candles. Look, watch. And you'll get it all the way down there. Because it's like breaking support and resistance. All right. I did a little too far. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. All right, so let it pull back a little bit more. Overstand on a 3 minute chart. If you want to overstand here, since you already know what all these lines is, I could delete them. Where it can pull back to. You look at all of these, this red line, how I'm looking at them, I'm looking for bodies of the candlesticks. Right when I put it at this body, I see we already hit, meaning that this wick is past that. Show them again, Moody. See, the wick is past my dotted line. So I'll come down to this one. You see how it's right there at my support? The body of the candlesticks. Well, I don't listen to these people. I don't got time. I'll be listening to this person up here and be like, what did you see? You know what I'm saying? I'll close my eyes, visualize what, oh, that's what you're seeing. Like I'm literally seeing it. I see all of that. You got to train your mind to be able to visualize. Like you can do that. It's fucking manifest anything you want. I'm gonna end up giving y'all some fucking juice today. So, and what I mean by that, for anybody that's, I am not a religious person at all. I'm very spiritual. For anybody that doesn't believe in God, doesn't like certain things of that nature, when I say like, hey, class is done, y'all can just jump off, but I'm gonna give the rest of my people some juice. So long story short, came down to about right here. Then I started looking for more bodies, right? Where the next body that I see, I'll come down right here. That's too far. Why is it too far, Moody? Because I passed this body and it hasn't hit that body yet, right? So that's the only place I'm gonna want to go for a bounce. Why? Because this is where it broke out at. Overstand that, right? So now let's go ahead and press play. Didn't even want to come back there, but it can. It still can. Why? Why can't it still come back down here? This could still run. Check my 1 minute. That's why I can still come back down there because it's gonna go overbought again, right? So it's gonna have to come retrace a breakout. If it doesn't retrace this breakout, it's gonna retrace this breakout right here where it broke out, right? So overstand it still can run. Why can it still run? Because it's going for a daily opening price, daily and weekly opening price. That's where you would take your rejection at. If you wanted to take any rejection, and the reason you know it can still run because we're not overbought. It comes down to the fiber. Check that bad boy out. Just broke out, bounced, and broke out, right? You see the completion. That's why you need multiple time frame analysis. Because now that I've explained all that, you see, I'm gonna draw a line right here. Oh, it's the magnet. Draw a line. I really wanted it right here, but I wanted it on top of this one because I like quicker price action or newer price action, right? But it just really depends on how the chart looks to me, right? Where I know that from here, the next structure is to go up here. The next target is to go right here first, though. That's what my chart's showing me. I have support all the way from down here. You see, we broke out here, right? This was the hour candle, not this one. You can see it. That's 1210. That was just a bounce, right? This was the hour candle that broke out, boom, came back to pick up liquidity, take out targets, and keep going, right? We see that we can still run. If you take it to the 15er, this is when you start mastering the freaking RSI. Come down to the 15er, you see that it broke out. So it's the 30, right? The 30 and the 45 can be rejecting, right? Right there. Boom. We know it's the hour. You see, this one's trying to break out. The reason I say we know it's the hour is because remember, we was on the hour talking about this candlestick, just this one, right? Remember, everything that I'm showing you is literally off of this 1 hour candlestick. And we remember when it was down here and it came back for the test. I had quickly remembered, right? So let's come back down to the 3 minute, right? So you can see it go take out its target. And understand that this line right here that I've drawn is also a zone. Why do I mean that? Because if I put the fib on here, you see that red line is literally with this white line right here. You see that? And that's why I say like everything that I do is going to correlate with how I trade. So it's not going to scare me on my trade. So boom, watch it go. Actionable signal. Come down to support if it wants to. It just came down to a support, the 15-minute support. You see how it just broke back over it because it wants to stay green, meaning this 15-minute candle stick right here that was playing. You see how it was red? It wanted to stay green, right? Let me take it back to the 3 minute. We can see that it made it, it finished out that candlestick. We're gonna get a new 15 that opens up right here, right? Because remember when I went to that 15, when it's showing you that full candlestick, it's showing you the full move. That's a whole 15-minute move. So the 15 minutes about to get a new candlestick as soon as I do this. As soon as one candle comes out. Bow. That's the 15-minute candlestick, the new one. Aggressively. You see that? Oh, no, it's still running. It's just I can't tell. It's not telling me how many minutes it has because I'm breaking it down. Now I know how to do it. Break it down from the smaller one and go into the larger one to go back into it, right? But obviously we know that since I went to the 3 minute, remember it was just this red candlestick that it gave us, and it just gave me these green ones. So it just completed that move. So let's go ahead and press play. And I'm just waiting for it to take out this price because I know it will. It should. It's still aggregating up. The only way it won't hit that price if it stays under this white line. It's gonna hit it. Pause it, Moody, so you can tell them. How do I know it's gonna hit it? Because of my chart. It's not even the lines that I've drawn. New hour candle is red, right? Meaning, dang, I don't want to. Here, let me see if it not complete the whole move. You see how it was red? It just went freaking green, so it's gonna complete the rest of the move on the 1 minute. I'll make it do it again. Oh no, it's still perfect. It's still perfect. So the new candlestick that's coming out, we're red for the hour. Always remember, even though I just showed you that and it was green, always remember we're red for the hour. It doesn't matter that it's green. This is the market not open and I'm trying to manipulate it, right? Anything under your 60, you're red. Anything over is green. So you know you're red for the 15, you know you're red for the green. I mean for the 60, right? This is support and resistance. You have a support right here. You see how you keep bouncing, you broke out of this. So if you keep bouncing from this, it's going to break that resistance. This is an opening candle too. So it'll push that candlestick to being green to buy now. Like, yo, we're buying now. We're buying. We ain't selling anymore, right? And that's not that far to go ahead and take out the target. So just let it aggregate. The only thing that I don't like is looking at the 1 minute and it's bearish divergent. All right. Always wait for that one to test this. You want to break back over this. If you don't break back over this, you don't stay bullish. See, there we go. That's it testing your hour. Boom, your hour goes green now. Your hour's at a doji, goes green. There we go, taking out targets. That's it. That was your move. That was your freaking move. And that's it. It's going to come back and test it. Why? Because now it's a daily opening price. Now it's trying to test the daily. Are we going to stay green or are we going to stay red? Right? That's what it's doing now. We already tested. We stood red. We tested not even a 50%, basically the opening price of that. Does it make sense to you guys? Me doing it that way? I'm going to check. hopefully it does. Yes. Okay, awesome. I was praying that it did. And all you're looking for on a 4 minute now is a hold, and I let it play. You're looking for a break and a hold. This is almost a break and a hold. You see, this is breaking and trying to hold. This is a break and a hold right there. That's a break and a hold. So go ahead and take out this target and already take it out. Right there. And your next target will be right here. And that's how you trade. You know what I'm saying? And you know that you can bounce from here. So say if you was in the trade and you was trying to take out this target, now you're down, you wait to see if you bounce. If you get the nice little bounce from here, you do not get out that trade. Don't get out that trade, you see? Because then you'll be like, dang, man, it's still bullish. It always has, whenever you buy at the top and it's by your lines and it didn't break over, remember that that's a resistance. So even if you bought there, don't get too scared. That's why it's always a good rule to understand. Is like once you're in your rhythm of like, this is how I trade, you know, I'm used to this is how I do it, you can have a starter position. But if you're not like in a rhythm and know what you're doing and things of that nature, and you're just still practicing and, you know, just making money here and there, you don't start with a starter position. Why? Because most people that do a starter position in the beginning and they don't know how to utilize that, they don't understand that you can't just say, I'm going to put $1,000 behind this trade and I'm only taking 3 trades a day. So I'm going to put $3,000 up today. How much is in your account? You know, if you got $5,000, that is not a good strategy. It definitely isn't. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you have $5,000 and you're utilizing that strategy and you know how to trade reversals and things of that nature, that's dope. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? Just at least give yourself the opportunity to take profits early. You know what I'm saying? Like even me, it's just some days where I don't do this, but let's just say I bought me 40 contracts. When I call my first trim, I'm taking 20 of those. People don't understand that. I'm getting out at least 50% of my position. You know what I'm saying? Or close to it. You know what I mean? So by the time like that I have 15 runners, I may take 1 or 2. That's why I'm like calling so many trims. Like, oh, trim right here. All right, cool. Wow. And sometimes I may take 5 trims. You know what I'm saying? Where I won't call that many more trims, and then I'll be fully out that trade. Right. So understand when starting a starter position, know what's in your account and know, hey, if I was to lose these 3 trades, can I still trade? You only got $2,000 now. And the way you're trading with $1,000, you only got 2 days to trade now, or 2 trades. Or depending on how your emotion feels, probably 1, because you probably get mad. I'm gonna put the whole 2 bands. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand that. And trading is not easy. Trading is extremely hard. I just say that it's easy because I like to train my mind and believe that it's easy, and it makes me feel like it's easy. But you just have to be able to endure pain, meaning like when you're down, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to endure that. And you got to be able to take profits, understand that you're not investing right now. You know what I'm saying? You're investing if you're leaping something. You know what I'm saying? That's investing with options. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna do a part 3 to put everything together. But I think it was pretty important to spend the amount of time that I did on consolidation and support and resistance. And I still didn't even break down my support and resistance how I really want to. So I know I'll do it on the other class, but literally I'll just show you this where it's like it's always going to be your next candlestick, right? So say you can always draw like this. And the thing is, you know, you can buy right here at the support, you can buy at the resistance, but you know that that's a breakout, and you know that you can always fall back down to support. Now, if you don't like to do things like that, right, you can just always come down to your left, always come down to your left. I'm gonna bring this one up here because it's gonna be your next range, and I'm gonna put this one right here, and I'm just utilizing this. So you're over that range. So all you tell yourself now And if you want to, you can bring this down to about right here to the bottom of this wick, because that's a full range instead of playing the support and resistance. And anything that holds under this, you can tell yourself, you know what, I'm out of that trade, right? And I'm gonna just press play so you can see the first hour just come out and see how that candle performed. You see what I mean? Literally follow this trade. I'm gonna let the second one come down and just consolidate it a little bit right there, right? The next one, same thing, right? Coming back down to that where I was telling you for that wick, but you were still completing that move. It didn't go all the way up there. It was shy by what's that? 23, 43, 23, 33, 43, 53, 40, less than 40 cents, right? It was shy by. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta fight the chart for 40 cents. And you can always do support and resistance that way. And it works the way I just did that, it works on every single time frame. So even if you're on a 5, right? And I'm gonna just do this, and I'm gonna just I just don't want to know what's happening on the chart. So I'm gonna just come right here. This is 9:30 in the morning. You could do pre-market highs or pre-market lows automatically. Someone that's patient, you could just tell yourself, I'm taking calls at 433.84, right? You could definitely take puts. I'll take the puts a little under here. Turn this off. It's gonna take me too much time, but I'm gonna just draw like right here. The only reason why is because I don't want it right there, and I don't have another candlestick to go off of, right? So I'm gonna just go ahead and let this play off, right? Where I know I'm buying calls right here, and I can buy calls down there. You can always buy calls at your resistance. See, it broke straight through. You got to be able to say, no, I'm jumping in. Going down to the 1 minute, you can see that you had ample amount of time to jump in. This pushed all the way down, started pushing right back up. You could have used this price action to say, hey, I want that. Or you could have just waited for your price action that you had on the 5 minute and say, hey, I'm gonna take it. And on the 1 minute while you was on here, you seen that this was growing, pulled back, growed, and came and took off for you, right? So it's that easy. Literally, you just have to draw on your chart and go with what you just drew, right? So like even right here, I will automatically, because I know that this is his range right here, I will automatically tell myself I'll let it ride and I'll take another call right here, right? But it all depends on the price action. Now, if we come all the way down here, right, you see how it's coming, and I see an actionable signal like right here, I'm taking this. I'm taking this. You know what I'm saying? Even if I get caught in the consolidation, okay, I got caught in the consolidation, but I know that this is about to break out just because of the price action, how it's looking, right? We finally almost got a hold. Look, we getting the holds. We just need to break back out. It's going to probably come test the 50% retracement real quick because it wants to test their breakout, right? Like, yo, we're going to hold this breakout, right? Red to green. And you just got to be patient. See, me, I would have just been stuck in a consolidation, right? Y'all would have just been hearing me talk about the chart, breaking it down. This is what I'm seeing, the inverted head and shoulders. I feel like we're still breaking up. Now we're up. We're over it. We're still in profits. Things of that nature, right? Red to green. Now we're pushing. We're doing great, right? Take profits, trim, and things of that nature. Just because I knew to take calls right here again, right? And it's going to come back down to his breakout. If you want to take another piece of calls, it could be like right there. And you see we already tested that zone. Or you can literally buy calls down here. Look, potential Morningstar. All right, we missed it. Didn't give it to us. Boom. All right, tell yourself I'm taking calls right here above this 50. 15, I mean. It keeps pushing down. You got the head and shoulders. All right, cool. Now we brought it back down. I'm taking calls above this, the 15 and the 60. See that? Boom. And that's the support and resistance. Wow, I won that trade, right? And it just depends on how long I wanted to stay in that trade. How did I size my position, right? If I would have bought one contract, no, I would have lost that trade. I would have stood in there. But if I would have bought me 40 contracts, 30 contracts, out of there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yep. Pause this. All right, y'all. Hopefully I enjoyed that. And it was a lot of assistance and help for you guys. Let me pause this. Stop recording.